You can be cheaper, prettier, and your team can be the best among everyone else, but you can still fail spectacularly. Why? Because if you don't own one single word in your consumer's mind, you are just noise. Welcome to episode 5 of the Laws of Marketing series, and I'm Neha, your friendly brand troublemaker. So far in this series, we've studied that for every brand, you need to be first in the category to be the leader of the category. Then we read that if you're not first in a category, you need to create a subcategory you can be first in. Then we said that being first in the category is irrelevant if you're not first in consumers' mind. And lastly, we studied that if you're first, second, or last, it is all basis consumers' perception, because in marketing, perception is reality. And today, we will learn about law of focus, which tells us how companies burn that one single word in consumers' mind that makes people perceive that they are first in the category. So in a nutshell, if you focus on the law of focus, you have the first 5 laws of marketing covered. Let's do a quick warm-up. What is the first brand that comes to your mind when I say 2-minute? If you thought about Maggi, congratulations, you just witnessed law of focus in real life. The smartest brands don't try to own everything. They pick one simple, benefit-oriented word and sacrifice everything else for it. That sacrifice, it's marketing alchemy. That is what turns a word into mental territory and then converts into sales. Law of focus states that the most important concept in marketing is owning one single word in your prospect's mind. Not a made-up one, not a fancy phrase, a plain dictionary word. Something like overnight, 2-minute noodle, 30-minute delivery, thicker, clear. So let's take some real-life examples so the idea of law of focus doesn't just live in theory. FedEx used overnight. They did not try to own everything in delivery, they just owned overnight. Heinz used thickness. They preempted that the competition's edge is not in a thicker sauce and they owned the word thicker. Domino's owned 30-minute delivery, and that is how it became more than a pizza. It became a logistics promise, and that is what consumers remembered. Fabindia owns handcrafted, which makes emotional decision making like clothes and jewelry for festival shopping, even if it is coming at a premium, an easy choice. Sensodyne just used dentist recommended, and that was all it took to blast its sales overnight. Words come in flavors, so don't pick a random word. Pick the right flavor for your brand. For example, benefit related. Colgate uses no cavity, like Heinz uses thickness. It could also be service related, like overnight for FedEx or 30-minute delivery for Domino's. Or it could be audience related, like Coke and Pepsi stands for the youth, and how there are so many brands that stand for kids. There are so many brands that stands for first mothers. And similarly, it could also be around your sales and positioning strategy. You could be either a discounted product like the 99-cent shop, or you could be premium like Apple in the phone industry. Pick the right flavor that fits your product, your category, and your market gaps. The real question is, why is one word better than many phrases? Because human brains are lazy. We forget or try to compress and consolidate. If you can own one simple, vivid word in your consumer's mind, that is a mental shortcut. The halo effect takes care of the rest. For example, if you say you're thicker, people already assume that you're high quality, you're tastier, and you're healthier. And if you say you're safer, people assume better engineering and care. But the warning is, the word needs to be available. Don't try to own a word that someone already owns. That is why Atari, when they tried to own computers after owning video game, was a big disaster. The learning is, don't try to wrestle in someone else's territory. So here I have a 5-step checklist for founders and marketers. It is very actionable and very practical that will help choose and lock a word for your brand. Number 1, do a one-word brainstorm. List about 20 simple single word that can be related to your brand, no hyphenated nonsense. Second, do a availability test. Google autotype, trademark searches, social handles. If it is already owned by someone, scratch it. Third, do a word association test. Ask 15 to 20 of your target consumers what brand first comes to their mind when they hear that word. If you are not top 1 for at least 50% of that sample group, Scratch that word. 4, make it benefit oriented. People prefer tangible benefits like thicker, cleaner, faster, overnight rather than vague values like quality. Everyone says quality. And number 5, preempt hard at launch. Your ad headline, your packaging, your PR stunt, your product line, everything needs to talk about that single word. Repeat it everywhere until it sticks with your consumer. So how do you get this word quickly into consumers' mind? Here is a launch plan that you can copy paste. For example, use it in your headline. If my word is overnight, my ad copy will end saying we are overnight. Second, use product names which are coming from that word or being derived from that word. For example, if my brand is delivery, I will say overnight delivery promise. Then packaging and user experience. The word, the single word that you've chosen, which is overnight, needs to come through in the packaging and also on the user experience front when they're visiting your website. A PR stunt. Create a newsworthy headline. For example, if my promise or word is overnight and I deliver it overnight at 5 remote places in India, it is guaranteed to create headlines. Fifth is customer experience. If you are using the word overnight, your operation needs to reinforce that word. If it says overnight, deliver it overnight. There are mistakes many brands do. Please don't be those brands or people. We will deliver quality. Everyone says that. No one believes one brand over another about quality. Please avoid using generic and cluttered words. The number 2 mistake is trying to own a contrived word which no one uses, like Volkswagen's Fahrvergnügen, something. It is cute, but it will not stick because no one can even pronounce that word. Number 3 is diluting your brand by owning contradictory products or contradictory words. BMW tried to be a living room on wheels, and that is how it lost its driver's choice edge. Don't make that mistake. Once you own a word, you need to guard it and protect it with everything that you've got. Copyright and trademark whatever you can, but the highest form of protection is imitation. When your competitors start using the word, it becomes even more commonplace and you still remain the leader. So what I'm trying to say is the essence of marketing is narrowing. You pick one crisp word, say it louder than everyone else, repeat it, and then protect it, and then let the halo effect do its job. Next episode, we will talk about what happens when companies try to own 2 words or change words. And believe me, it is harder than breaking up with someone on Instagram. Now go watch all the other episodes in this series, and if you feel that there is something practical for you, hit that subscribe button or that like button, and in the comment section, do leave that one word you want to own as a brand. This is marketed by NG. Let's make your brand glow up. Namaste.